everybody. This is GM John Fedorowicz. Welcome to April 15, 2017 SimulMaster Simul. We'll get started shortly. There's been a lot of nice chess tournaments going on lately. Congratulations to Wesley So and Sabina Foiser for winning the men's and women's U.S. championship. Always one of my favorite tournaments. I think I played in it 21 or 22 times. I don't know. It's not really a sore subject with me. It's the only tournament I never won. I came close a few times and managed to get a little too excited and choke. And also the Korchnoi Zurich Chess Challenge is going on now with Nakamura and Kramnik, and Nakamura and Peter Schvidler are tied for first after 5 rounds. That's a nice tournament. And also the Grenke Chess Classic in Germany is going on, and Hu Yifan upset Fabiano Caruana, and that's a big result for her. So some good tournaments going on in Europe. The U.S. Championship completed, and soon we will get the Simul started. So. And I'm taking black today in all of the games. So good luck to everybody. And I saw somebody said, let's all play C4 against me. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to tell you the truth. Okay, Trivial Pursuit did not play C4 against me. He played E4, and I'm going to play Sicilian. Mish Bobby has gone D4 on move 1, and India Fanafats has gone to C4, and I've been playing the Queen's Gambit a lot lately, so we'll try that. Duke Bishop has played C4 too. Kronos has gone E4, and I'll play a Sicilian. I'll see what kind of Sicilian when we get there. Liebens pawn knight D4 knight F6. Raster D4 knight F6. Rocky top D4 knight F6. Shamax has not moved yet, so I guess I should wait before I move. So, but good luck to everybody, and it's a nice day in New York. I just came back from a lesson. I took the subway all over Creation, and the New York subway on the weekend doesn't work too well. Rocky top D4 knight F6, dodgy D4 knight F6, moving Dutchman C4. So I think I'll have another Queen's Gambit there with E6. GM awaiting his first move. And I got to see if I'm in a Benko Gambit mood in some of these games. Still play the Benko sometimes. Positionally correct opening. Having some trouble in a few lines, but that's kind of normal. I mean, when you're black, you're a little worse to start off with. And GM is waiting for his move, and I'll see if I could jump around here. Last time all I played was Lexis. We've had some battles before. Moving Dutchman has played C4. I'll go E6. Eternal Warrior E4. Another Sicilian. Richard Parker D4 knight F6. Bishop 8 D4 knight F6. Last month's Simul was really not good for me. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't sure what happened there. Maybe it was because there were 2 Simuls in a row. I don't know exactly why, but also my game with Zebal, it's a good game to look at, actually. Look at my ending with Zebal. Zebal found some weird draw. I was up 2 pawns, and there was rook and, H pawn and G pawn. So he's got decided the board helps him. And I thought it should be an easy win. I couldn't believe it was a draw, but I couldn't figure out how to win it. So who the heck knows what happened? Strange. I mean, maybe Zebal found some kind of theoretical ending. We have to see. Okay, Kronos E4, C5, knight 3, knight C6, A3, and knight F6 looks like a kind of move I should play to attack his E pawn and see how he defends it. Duke Bishop looks like we're going to get into some sort of Catalan type of thing. Indiana Fats, also C4, E6, G3. Closed Sicilian for Trivial Pursuit. Rocky top, Nimzo or Benko. Let me go for a Benko. I'll do a few Benkos today. and some Queens Indians. Benko against Dodgy. Benko against Rasta. Gave up to Benoni a long time ago. T Knight has gone D4, Knight F6 again. Duke Bishop has gone Bishop G2, and that's going to be some kind of Catalan. Whether it's a Catalan with D4 or not is another question. Okay, A Laziz, D4, Knight F6, Knight C3, D5, Bishop G5. I'll go Knight B, D7. Eternal Warrior, we're in the C3 Sicilian, which is the same as the Smith-Moore Gambit, declined. Kronos has gone Knight C3 and defended his pawn, and I'm trying to see, does he want to go does he want to sack a pawn with B4? I'm not sure. I'll see. A3 could turn into a useful move for him later, I suppose. Chamnax, another Sicilian, and Richard Parker is playing a London system, so it's going to be like a Queen's Indian sort of London system. Okay, let's see what happens with Trivial Pursuit. Open Sicilian from Chain Makes. Moving Dutchman, Knight, another Queen's Gambit, and Benko's. So Benko's and Queen's Gambits, D4 from E3, I'll move one from Nejmadinov if I play Knight F6 there. GM has gone B3, I'll do D5. That's the good thing about playing the Queen's Gambits. Should I make it a Benko Gambit day against T Knight 16? All right, let's make it a Benko Gambit day. Pawn takes pawn against Eternal Warrior. A Laziz, Queen to D3 after Knight B D7. That's in a Veresov. D4, Knight F6, Knight C3, D5, Bishop G5, Knight B D7. So noble double pawns. Queen D3, and obviously he wants to play E4. And now I have to see what is the right move for me. I remember something about H6. G6 probably can't be bad either. I think I'll try G6 there and see how that goes. Okay, Bishop Mate has gone with D4, Knight F6, Knight F3, E6. And I remember playing the Polish against that. Only playing the Polish against the G3 kind of thing. Polish and the other thing, what happens is you get into some kind of position where it doesn't work out too well. So I think it's just better to do a Polish when the fianchetto happens. GM Joel Benjamin. I saw GM Joel Benjamin the other day. I came on the ICC, and I saw 10 years of Benjamin, and I thought, man, that's pretty good. And I mean, 10 years of Benjamin should be pretty good stuff. I don't know if I don't know if it's just chess or whether he does and talks about other stuff. So, but 10 years of Joel Benjamin, always entertaining. Definitely some good chess for sure. Okay, Knight C3 from Rasta. We have some Benko Gambits accepted. We got a Benko Gambit decline going. I'm going to try not to get into time pressure today. Speaking of Joel Benjamin, the opening with Trivial Pursuit. After Bishop to E3, I've played every legal move. B5, Rook B8, H5, you name it. I've done it, right? E5, every legal move. And we were staying at a friend of ours' house in Chicago, Ken Marshall, and we were playing in the U.S. Open, and I was preparing for Michael Egner, F-Pawn, I think he's here, is his name here. And Egner played this, and I didn't know what to do. And Joel Benjamin goes, "What, are you kidding? B6, of course." So I was like, B6? All right. So I yelled, "I'll do it," and I did it. And I got a pretty good game against him, but Michael defended very well and made a draw. So, all right, let me see what to do with A. Laziz. Looks like I shall go Bishop G7. This could turn into a sharp game. Hayan's gone Bishop to C4, E4, C5, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4. And usually when I see a bishop on E4, it's good to put a pawn in the way, so I'll go E6. Mr. Neal seems to be a late comer, or although maybe my board is a late comer. I've already thought for about 4 minutes on my first move, and I don't usually do that. Okay, Lieben's pawn, another Benko, so it's a real Benko day. And I threw in a Polish for good housekeeping because my father was from Poland, so it's good to play the Polish. All right, Richard Parker, we get a nice position in a London system. A-Laziz has castle queenside. We knew this was going to be a sharp game, opposite side castles. And Duke Bishop has gone castles. And I will go knight BD7. And that's in that Catalan, but it's a Catalan without D4. It's like an English Catalan, I guess we could call it. Okay, Mr. Neal's going to be another Queen's Indian. T-Knight, maybe another Benko accepted. Heian has retreated his bishop back to B3. And I'll just go knight F6 and hit that. Okay, Richard Parker played H3, which is usually directed against the knight H5 taking the bishop. I don't know if it was necessary for him to do that. I will castle. Let's see. Eternal Warrior's gone bishop C4. I'll go D takes E5. And Kronos has gone bishop to A4. And now I have to see what to do here. The first question is E5 any sort of threat for me? And I think that I'm going to play maybe I'm looking at A6. Have to see if E5 is a threat. If E5 is a threat, well, then I don't know. I'm thinking about Queen C7 to take the steam out of E5. I think I will go Queen C7. Okay, let's see what's happening here for A-Laziz. How do I get some business going against his queen side? I'm considering just hitting him with C5 and seeing how that works out. I don't think I want to take on E4 because if I go knight F6, his queen can go to H4, and it seems to be in more of an attacking type position. So I'm looking at C5, and then if he takes that, maybe I get the pawn back and get something going. My counterplay could turn out to be faster than his, so I'm going to try C5. Okay, bishop takes A6, E4 from Raster, and it's a king takes F1 line. Heian has gone D3. I think I'm going to try D5 there. King takes F1 from Raster. Then I just go D6. Important to stop E5s there. Misha Bobby, a Torre system, bishop G5, also Queen's Indian type of position. Dodgy's gone knight F3. I'll go bishop G7. That's a Benko. Declined more or less. He could choose to accept it at any moment under good conditions if he wants to. All right, I'm going to go D6 against Richard Parker. B6 to Fianchetto against Misha Bobby. Knight E2 against Trivial from Trivial Pursuit in that closed Sicilian, and now I'm thinking about knight to D4. The idea of this queenside stuff is to not move the G8 knight and allow bishop H6. That's the whole point of queen to D2. So I think I'm going to go queen to D7. I remember something about that with Joel. H3 from Dodgy. I wonder why. All right, I'm going to cancel. Didn't think that was necessary. Mr. Neal and Rocky Top, another Benko. So I decided all-out Benko today. Neshmedinov has gone E3, knight F6, F4. And I think I'll just Fianchetto with G6. Bishop B7. Okay, T-Knight has gone F3. And that's it. That's a good line against the Benko. I remember DeLugi playing this kind of stuff against me. I'm going to try E6. I remember that's the sharpest thing to do. Pawn takes pawn. The idea is pawn takes pawn, E4, threatening B5, and also threatening to take the pawn on B5. I think I'm gonna try to get into a Benko accepted by going D6. Okay, Rocky Top, we got A6. Heian has gone E5, and I will go knight back to D7. His bishop looks funny in this position. Rocky Top's gone B6, and now I'm gonna go D6, and I have to be a little careful here about that B pawn. I've had people play this against me. Knight takes E5 from Eternal Warrior, and that's in the C3 Sicilian. Moving Dutchman. We're getting into a Queen's Gambit. T-Knight has gone E4. I'm going to take it and see if I can get into a typical Benko accepted kind of position. Okay, Knight takes F6 from A-Laziz. I don't know, is there any point to me playing Any point to me taking back with the pawn? No, I will just take back with the knight and see what he intends. Bishop G5 from Dodgy, and now I wonder, when am I supposed to go pawn takes pawn on C4 and not do the gambit anymore? Also, it's an interesting situation since Dodgy just played Bishop G5. It's a strange thought here. Can I go knight takes E4 and then Bishop takes B2? I don't know. I think I'm going to try it. Let's see. I mean, I get a couple pawns. His rook is trapped. I don't think he can take on E7. It looks okay. All right, moving Dutchman. Looks like we're heading into a classical type of position in a Queen's Gambit. Now let's see. Kronos has gone on D3, and I think I'll play A6 there, stop some stuff. Lieben's pawn. Let's see what we get there. And Queen A3 from A. Laziz, getting his queen out of the way, and threatening perhaps some kind of discovery on me. And now I'm looking to see what sort of moves should I play here. Looking over some stuff, looking over 94 maybe. I don't know, pawn takes pawn. I'm not exactly sure how that looks for me. I got to see if I get this pawn back. I'm looking at knight to G4 possibly. And then, I don't know, maybe he can protect his pawn there. Or perhaps I should just sack with his pawn and play bishop F5. All right, I'm going to try bishop to F5 and just sack a pawn and try to be active. Okay, Kronos has taken on D4. I recapture, of course. Hayen has gone queen to E2 to defend his pawn. Now I'm looking to see, is there any point in me going queen C7? Let's see, if I go queen C7, he has to go bishop F4. I don't know, is there anything that I can do here to try and jump his pawns? I was thinking maybe queen C7, bishop F4. I saw Magnus Carlsen in some position like that go G5, looks kind of strange. I don't want to go G6. Feels like it makes too many holes. And a weird thought is queen C7, bishop F4, F6. I don't know. Pawn takes pawn, and I take on F4. That's pretty interesting. I think I'm going to try queen C7 and think about that. Okay, now what's going on with Kronos? Should I go queen to A5 check and see what he does there? And maybe that helps me. Okay, Richard Parker has gone queen E2. I'm going to take on D4. GM has gone E3. I usually go A6 there to stop bishop B5, reverse Nimzo Indiana Fats, the counterland type of position. Pawn takes pawn from Kronos. And Rocky Top has gone knight C3. I'll go knight BD7. I remember playing white one time against the strong Mexican GM Hoyos, and he did some kind of line like that against me, and it looked okay, so I think I'm going to give it a try. Now, what's going on with Hayen? Can I just snatch this pawn on E5? I snatched it, so we'll see. Is something bad going to happen to me? I don't know. I guess we will find out. Okay, Richard Parker's castled, and I'm looking to see if I have any E5 tricks. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I'm going to just go, I guess I'll just go rook E8 and maybe set up some trick later. Okay, knight takes C6 from Schamanx, and now I'm going to take back what... It's a good question what to take this back with. I think I usually just take back with the B pawn and try and control the center later. Bishop mate, that's in the Polish. Let's see. Now, usually what I try to do is I try not to. Well, I mean, I think I'm going to take on D4. Eternal Warriors castled. I'll go bishop E7. Pawn takes pawn from A. Laziz, and I shall go queen to C7. Mr. Neal's gone C3, and I will go B6. F4 from Trivial Pursuit, And like Joel Benjamin said to me, when F4 happens, you can go either F5 or E6. I think I'm going to go E6. Always have to look over to see if D4 does something. So I don't know, E6, D4. If he does that, maybe. I think I'm going to do F5 when there's no Queen H5. Check F5 and then put the knight behind it. Mr. Neil A. Laziz went knight to D4 against me, threatening to take my pawns. Looks like interesting move, and I probably have to move my bishop. I think I have to move my bishop. I'm looking to see, are there any other tricky moves here? I mean, knight e4 is of some interest, I guess. What would he do there? Knight to b5 or something? That could be some sort of possibility for me. And if he takes on f5, can I just take it back? I don't know. It's a strange thought. Maybe I should just go bishop back to d7 and be like a regular person for a change. I think I'm going to go bishop d7 and see what's going on. Queen c2 from Indiana Fats. He's going to get his pawn back. It's too dangerous to hold that pawn. Now, hey, Ian, I think I take back with the queen on e5. Mr. Neil, I'm just developing. That's knight takes c3 from Kronos. He could have maybe taken back with the pawn also. Now, I guess I'm going to go b5 and send Kronos' bishop back somewhere. Knight f6 against Shamanex. Take back against Heian. Rook c1 against Richard Parker. A very solid move. And I always have to look to see if knight b5 ever does something. I don't know. I'm going to try knight to d5 and bother his bishop. Okay, Indiana Fats has gone knight a3, and then usually I take the knight in one jump. Okay, Nezhmadinov likes doing these crazy things. He's gone g4, and I'll go h6. Rook e1 from Heian. And let's see, what should I do here? I think I'm just going to go bishop to d6. Let me see other interesting moves here. He might win his pawn back with some kind of bishop takes d5 somewhere. Okay, castles from Indiana Fats. And now let's see, what should I play? I think I'm going to play c5 and then see, maybe at some point I could change my mind and keep the pawn. Knight c3 from Shamanex. Then I'm just develop a4 from Rocky Top, and I think now a4 is not a bad move there. My knight is on d7 very early in this position, so if I go queen takes and he goes and I go queen to b4, he's got some ideas. I have to take the pawn back, that's for sure. I think, can I do a5 there? I think I'm going to try a5, actually. I just wrote an article with this position. Okay, Richard Parker has gone bishop h2. I'm going to try knight b4 and see if I could bother that bishop. h3 from Trivial Pursuit. Now the question is, do I want to go knight f6 or do I want to go e6? I think knight f6 in this one puts pressure on e4 and keeps him from playing d4. Okay, Raster's gone knight ge2. I'll go bishop g7. Lieben's pawn is giving me my pawn back with g3. And do I want to take this pawn? I think I'm going to change my mind and take it back. It seems okay to do that. Okay, A. Laziz has gone f3. And that stops the knight e4 idea. And now I'm looking to see, in some position, can I get my pawn back? How do I want to do it? Let me try rook on a to c8 and just see if I could go take c5 on the next move. Mr. Neil, I'm going to castle. Well, it could be dangerous to castle. I'm going to go d6 and see. Okay, Raster's gone h4, and I'm just going to go h5 and put an end to that. Duke Bishop, Queen a4, I go c5, and f4 from Heian, trying to get his pawn back with bishop takes d5. Now, do I have, if I go knight g6, I would like to keep my pawn. If I go knight g6, I threaten the f4 pawn. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to be greedy and keep my stuff. Yeah, Raster's gone rook h3, and I'll go knight b d7. Mr. Neil castled, so I'll castle. GM's gone knight f3, and I'm going to put my pawn on d4 and kill his bishop. All right, now what's happening with Richard Parker here? Do I have bishop a6 winning some material? Bishop takes f6 from moving Dutchman. Bishop to b5 from A Laziz. Okay, now can I take? Well, here's what he's up to here. If I take the pawn back with queen takes c5, he could win with bishop to e7 maybe, and also he's got some weird thing that I have to be careful of. Rook d8 check after queen takes c5, and that would probably win for him. So this bishop to b5 is a pretty interesting move. I'm looking at some stuff here. Maybe I can go bishop takes b5 and then go queen c6 or something. Let's see. Any other things to do? E4. If I do e4, he goes bishop takes b5. Bishop takes d7. I take back with a knight. Not sure what that is. Looking for discoveries. I think e5 is maybe interesting for me. Okay, I'm gonna try this e5 and see how that goes. E3 for moving Dutchman. I'm gonna castle. Nejmadinov has gone bishop g2 developing, and I'm gonna try d5. Misha Bobby has castled. I'm just gonna castle myself. And I have to go d6 against Liebman's pawn. It's funny, one of my first Benko gamuts when I was a kid, I forgot to go d6 and my opponent went d6 and my position was completely ruined. So you remember that kind of stuff. I'm going to take on d4 against Mr. Neal. Bishop takes f6 from A. Laziz. Let's see. So bishop b3 from Chrono. And now I'm looking to see, is e5 ever a threat with him? I'm just going to try to play d6 here and just keep track of this position. Mr. Neal took back with the c pawn, and I'll go knight b d7. Castles from Shamex, I would go bishop there. T knight took on b5 with check. I'll go bishop to b7. That's the Benko. And so the games are coming in. I'm not lost anywhere yet. Dodgy just went bishop back to c1, so I snatched a pawn and then I ran away and I have more development. I think I got to be happy here. I'm going to just retreat my knight back. I took a pawn on e4 and I'm just retreating back to f6. Queen e2 from Mish Bobby. I go d6. Got those hedgehogs. e6 from against Trivial Pursuit. Bishop e2 from Moving Dutchman. And the question in these positions is always, what should I take on c4 and make his and make his bishop move again, or should I just play b6 and be solid? Is c5 worth anything? Good question. All right, I'm going to take on c4 and see how that one goes. Mish Bobby has gone c4, and I'm going to go knight b d7. Queen's Indian hedgehog things. Okay, Heian has gone f5, and I'm just going to go knight back to e7 and try and keep my pawn extra. Dodgy's gone knight c3. I'm going to go pawn to b4. I think, like I said, I'm pretty happy there. Okay, now I'm looking out for discovered attacks from A. Laziz. I go queen takes d7, and where's he going to go? King h7, h2 from Trivial Pursuit. I'll castle kingside. And Rocky Top has gone e4. And I'm going to go g6 and just play normal stuff. Okay, T-Knight's gone bishop to c4. That makes sense. And I'm just going to go g6, try and develop myself. Dodgy's gone knight back to e2. And now how can I take advantage of this? Does bishop f5 do anything for me? I don't know. I think I'm just going to go a5 and go on the queen side. Knight back to e2 from A. Laziz. And now I just want to take my pawn back. Queen c6. He'll have rook to d6 maybe. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna try. I'm looking at Queen c6, and I'm gonna try Queen c6 and just take my pawn back now that d8's covering the squares. All right, Mr. Neal's gone e4, and I'm gonna try knight to h5 and see if he wants to trade some bishops. Okay, Donji's gone knight f4, and I'm going to go a4. Bishop g7, t knight's up a pawn. Pawn c4 against Nejmadinov. Looks like a Catalan spike or something. I don't know. I'm looking to see. I think I'm just going to take on c4 and see if I could use some squares later. Okay, I'm getting into time pressure on some boards. All right, let's see what Laziz has played knight to c3, and if I take the pawn, does he have some knight e4 idea? So I want to see. I'm thinking about just going bishop to e7 and seeing if I could get this pawn back. Okay, queen takes e7 against Mr. Neal. Rook b1 from Rasta. I will castle. Bishop takes c4. I'm going to go c5 against Moving Dutchman. Rook ae1 from Misha Bobby, and I'm just going to play rook e8. And what's going on here with Eternal Warrior? Okay, let's see, what's my best move here? Knight takes c3. I'm going to try knight takes c3. I'm going to see if I can mess up his pawn structure and see if I could get some kind of good game from that. Donji's going bishop to d3, and I'm looking at various stuff here. I'm wondering if a3 helps him or hurts him. Don't know. So I'll just go knight b d7 and develop somebody. I'm playing for pawn structure against Eternal Warrior, and we'll see how that goes. All right, Raster is in a very weird-looking pawn-up type of position, and I'm going to see what... I'm going to go knight e5. One thing about his pawn on h4 is I got stuff there. Okay, now, Eternal Warrior, should I just go queen c7 and see what's going on there? Bishop g1 from Trivial Pursuit. Rook ae8. I like my position there. Kronos has played interesting. Queen f3, threatening e5 right away, and I will go bishop to b7. Looks like the best way to stop that. All right, now what's happening here with Laziz? He's I cannot take the pawn back yet because of some sort of rook d8 thing again. So I'm thinking about b6 though, and I'm looking at b6, still trying to get the pawn back and have my queen protected. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to castle against Kronos. Knight d1 from Trivial Pursuit. And now, how do I put pressure on his e4 pawn? I'm looking at something. I'm looking at knight a5 ideas, stuff like that. I'm not sure if, let's see, then will he go knight f2 or something? Also e5, but I don't know. Is e5 too loose for me? And what else? I'm thinking I'm gonna try e5, but then I don't know. If he takes everything and gets some knight e3 thing, is my f5 pawn a problem? I think I'm just gonna go king h8 and regroup. Pawn takes from Heian. Am I just up a pawn? I played pawn takes on e6. Looks like that's everything's under control. I'm going to get queen c7 against Mish Bobby and get out of the way. King h1 from Chamax. And how do I want to do this now? He wants to go f4. I guess I go d6, and if he goes f4, I just castle. c3 from Trivial Pursuit. And when will knight a5 become a move? I'm going to try knight a5, although knight a5, if he goes b4, do I have to go back to where I came from? Not sure that I'm happy about that situation. I don't know if queen c8, if I'm supposed to get my queen out of the way here, but all right, I'm going to try queen c7. Okay, c4 from bishop mate, and I think I should take that and try to play against his isolated pawn. Indiana Fats has gone bishop to b2, and I will castle. Bishop to g5 from Heyen. And let me see what's going on. I think I'm just going to go h6. Okay, GM's going g3. I'll go g6, fianchetto, and keep an eye on my pawns. Oh, Dodgy has come up with something pretty interesting here. H5. All right, I'm going to hit him with knight e5 and see if I could create some tactics. Trying not to get into time pressure all over the place, like what happens sometimes in these things. Kronos, is there any interest on my part on playing pawn to b4? I don't know. My queen could look a little weird out there. Also, what is his idea? I think I'm going to try rook on f to d8 and see if I could arrange some kind of play here. Okay, bishop takes e7 from Heyen, and I will go. I think I will go bishop takes e7. Yes. Okay, knight e2 from Kronos. And let me see, I have to be a little careful of my queen in these positions. Can I go rook to c8? Just trying to play normal. Okay, Laziz is going king to b1. And now I'm trying to see... I'm looking at various things. I don't know if I could do f5. He might bother me with some queen b3 check. Do I want to go bishop takes pawn? I could wait on that, I guess. Let's see. Should I go? I'm thinking about rook to b8. Also, maybe I could just take back on c5 with the pawn. I think I'm just going to take back on c5 with the pawn. Maybe open the b file for some business. Okay. Indiana Fats, when's he going to take his pawn back on c4 is a good question. How do I develop my bishop on c8? Sometimes there's tricks where I could just go b6 and on knight e5, maybe just go knight d5 or something. All right, I'm going to try b6. Now, do I have to look out for knight to g5 and I move my rook and I have h7 covered, I think, right? Okay, let's see how that one goes. c4 from Laziz. Yeah, pretty positional type of stuff. Maybe trying to get a knight to d5 or something. Maybe trying to get a rook to d5. Doesn't look bad at all for him. I think I'm going to go rook to d8 here and contest that file. Moving Dutchman, I'm going to go knight c6. Trivial Pursuit, what do I do here? He just went knight to e3. I don't know. Some pressure. Maybe I go knight e7 and hit his e pawn. Knight f4 from Kronos, and I'm trying to get in d5 in this position. Is he threatening a sacrifice here? You know, with bishop takes e6. That's the question. So, all right, I think I'm just going to go bishop f8 and try to defend myself there. Knight c3 from Heyen. And Heyen is trying to get his pawn back. Maybe he's threatening bishop takes d5. I'm going to go king to d8 and get out of the way of stuff and see if I can just keep my pawn. All right, now Kronos has gone bishop to e2. Bishop to a2, sorry. And I don't know, maybe is he trying to mess up my queen here with some pawn to b4 thing? So I'm just going to go queen c7 and get my queen out of there. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone d takes c5. I'm going to go bishop takes c3 and see if we can play some pawn structure chess there. b3 from Misha Bobby. I'll go bishop f8, the usual hedgehog stuff. Raster has gone bishop f4. And I'm going to go knight on F to D7 and just see if I could get some pressure going. All right, knight E2 from Dodgy. And sometimes in these positions, I'm trying to see if I can make some nice threats on him here. Something tactical, maybe E4 at some moment. I don't know, E4, and then maybe there's some kind of B3 thing going on or something. I don't know, or A3 maybe. I think I'm going to try A3, see what kind of action I can get there. Okay, now what roster's gone A4, makes sense. I'm going to go Queen A5, typical Benko. Benko would be happy if he saw this. Benko was always happy when somebody was playing the Benko Gambit. Okay, Queen D3 from Mish Bobby, making a battery, but the thing with his battery is my knight's on F6, so I'm wondering if I can go E5 myself, or perhaps I should just go G6 and take it easy. All right, I'm going to do G6, regrouping. Heian has gone rook to E2. I'm just going to go bishop to D7, develop. Still trying to keep my pawn. Now, bishop mate. What's happening here? I just took on C4. He's got nice way pawn. I think I'm going to castle. Rook takes D8 from A. Laziz. He's trying to snatch a pawn, it looks like, on A7. So, all right, I'm going to give that pawn, and we'll see what happens. All right, Lieben's pawn has gone bishop G5, similar to the other Benko Gambit game, and I'm thinking of just going G6 and maybe hoping for pressure on B2 later. Okay, now Lieben's A. Laziz has gone queen takes A7. He's moving very fast, and I think I'm gonna just go queen to E6. Maybe that could turn. I don't know. That might turn into another pawn sack. I'm not sure if I want to sack that much stuff. Rook D7. I can't play. I'm wondering about bishop to. I'm wondering about just bishop to F8. Try and do something to him later. Okay, I'm gonna try bishop to F8. Okay, castles from bishop mate, and I'm gonna go bishop to D5 against him and use some squares. Raster has gone knight to B5, and now sometimes the question here is when to play pawn to C4 and break them up. Got to be careful though of some squares here. I think I'm going to go rook on A to C8 and see if I can arrange some counterplay. Heian has gone rook A E1, and I'm just going to go bishop F6. F3 from Dodgy, interesting. Stops my E4 stuff, but can I crack him open with E6? It's getting very active for me. E5 from Mr. Neal. And let's see, I'm looking at knight F4s. I'm looking at pawn takes pawn. Will he go knight takes pawn? All right, Mr. Neal, I'm going to try to go pawn takes pawn and see if I could get some squares. Queen A5 attacking my rook from A. Laziz, and I will go rook to D4. Okay, Rocky top. That's the Benko. All right, I'm gonna take that B pawn back at some point, I hope. Okay, moving Dutchman, pawn takes C3. I'm going to go queen A5, trying to play for pawn structure chess. T-knight. Boy, I don't know. It's tempting. Should I mess up his pawns on the king side? Not a very Benko thing to do. I'm going to try it. Okay, knight E5 from bishop mate, and I'm just going to try D6, chasing this knight all over the place. And now, against T-knight, I'm looking at queen C8 to maybe try and get a pawn back and create some kind of awkward situation for him. I'm gonna try queen C8 and see if I could just be brutal and take some pawns back. Let's see now. Knight takes E5 from Mr. Neal. Now, does Mr. Neal have any tricks here? I'm just making sure nothing bad happens to me on H7. I think I'm just gonna go knight to F4. And hit G2 and see if I can make him go backwards. H3 from Mish Bobby. I'll go bishop G7, regrouping. Queen A4 from Duke Bishop. And I'm thinking about A6. And, trying to get that bishop to B7. If the bishop gets to B7, I got to be happy about it. Okay, Raster has gone rook to c3. And I'm looking at all kinds of stuff here. I don't know, knight to g4. Where does rook go? Maybe pawn to c4. Maybe I should break them up. The thing with pawn to c4 is I got to make sure that I'm looking at this c4 square. All right, I'm going to try pawn to c4 against Raster and c. Try and be active there. Okay, bishop mate, knight d3, and now I'm looking. I'm going to just go knight c6, get some development. Nezhmadinov has gone g5. I feel like I should take that. Maybe later on his king will be more open. Hayan has gone knight back to d1. And I'm thinking of rook to e8. Looks good. I'm still trying to keep my pawn. Dodgy has gone bishop to e4. And now I'm looking to see, can I do pawn takes pawn on d5? Queen g5 from Kronos. What's he up to here? I'm thinking about e5 myself, but e5 opening up that bishop on a2. I'm not so sure that I'm happy about that situation. Can I play d5 here? Is what I would keep trying to do. I'm gonna let me see if I could do d5 on Kronos and see if that does anything, and we'll see. Okay, Nezhmadinov has recaptured, and I'm considering knight to g4. Maybe to bother him on the d3 square. Who knows? Bishop e2 from Rocky Top. I'm going to castle. Bishop e4 from Mr. Neal. I'm going to take on e5. Let's see. Aziz has offered a trade of queens on the b5 square, and I'm looking to see. I don't think I could take it. So and I don't know, queen c7. I got to be careful of knight checks. So I think I have to try maybe queen to e6 and see. Rook to c1 from Kronos. And I'm gonna try queen to b8, I guess. Bishop b5 check from t knight, making me put my a piece in the way of the h pawn. So I'm gonna go knight b d7. Maybe I'll get some business going later. Rook e3 from Mish Bobby. And now let's see. What moment should I go e5? I'm gonna try e5 now. Let's see. Let's go now. And then against Dodgy, he just took c takes d5. And now I'm wondering if I should just take it. I think I'm just gonna take his bishop on e4. Rook to c1 from Aziz. And he's just going on some pawn taking mission. Let's see, and let's see if I should go queen to f5 or pin him and see if I could get my queen active. I'm going to try this queen to f5. Maybe if he moves, I could get some back rank stuff. Mr. Neal, looking at pinning him with rook to d8. Bishop b6 from Kronos. And I'm thinking of doing lots of trades here. I'm going to take on c1 and then go rook over. Okay, now against Dodgy, I was thinking about bishop to g4, and I was thinking about bishop to a6. Do I need to worry about my c pawn? I feel like I'm pretty active here. If he takes my my c pawn, I'm going to try bishop to a4. G4, sorry. And bishop mate has gone rook e1. And let's see. And I think I'm going to try some rook to c8. Okay, queen c2 from Moving Dutchman. And I will take on c5. Very happy. I'm playing for pawn structure chess there. Let's see. Hayan has gone pawn to c3. And I'm just going to go pawn to b6 and take my time. Maybe unravel my king. Knight e5 from Duke Bishop. And let's see, I'm looking at things here. Queen c7 maybe. Attack his knight. All right, let me try. I'm going to try queen c7. I have to be aware of knight b5 stuff. Okay, Moving Dutchman has gone queen to e4. Is he trying to make a battery? I'm going to play b6. Looks okay, I think. Queen a4 check from Nezhmadinov. And I'm looking to see what's my best move here. I'm thinking of knight c6, just sacking some stuff. I'm going to go knight c6. If he wants c6, we'll have to see. Okay, bishop mate has gone b3, and I'm going to go pawn to a5. Queen c1 from Lieben's pawn. Feels like he would like some kind of bishop h6 thing. So I'm going to go h6 myself. Knight f2 from Hayen. Does he want to go knight g4? I'm going to try h5 to stop that. Rook c8 against Kronos. Create some back rank threats. Moving Dutchman has gone rook to d1. I'm going to go bishop to b7. See if I can unravel. And now what's happening here with Kronos? H6 should, or if I go pawn takes e4, is that allowed? Let me see. Pawn takes e4. Should I go h6 first? Where will his queen go? I think I'm gonna go pawn to h6 against Kronos, and then try to take a pawn on e. Try to take this pawn on e4. Okay, a4 from Aziz, trying to make queens. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm happy about what's going on here. He might really make queens. Let's see. What to do here? Rook to d2. I don't like one bit. It doesn't work. So I don't know. I think I'm going to retreat my rook and see what's going on here. Not very easy. Okay. I'm going to take on b6 with the knight against Rocky Top. a5 from Aziz, moving very fast. I'm going to go rook to a8. Now, Mish Bobby, rook fe1. Now, did I count right? Can I win? Does e4 win the exchange or not? E4, knight takes e4, and what does he take it back with? Does that win the exchange? Knight takes. I think so. I don't know. I'm gonna do it, and if I miscounted, that's the way it goes. Okay, rook c3 from Aziz, and let's see. What do I do here? This might be the one. This feels like the only game where I have some problems, and he just is pushing his pawn, and I'm having trouble getting some play. So I think that game it's not an easy position. Okay, knight e5 from Indiana Fats. I go knight d5. Queen retreated against Kronos, and can I just take on e4? And I'm trying to take pawns. Okay, Trivial Pursuit. I think I've made him take on f5, and now I'm going to take that with the e pawn and open the file. Okay, Nezhmadinov has gone queen takes c4, and I'm going to go. I'm looking to see knight e5 looks nice for me. What else? Maybe just bishop to g7. There's a lot of moves here for me, and I don't know. Is my knight getting trapped? Is a good question. So I'm going to try knight on g to e5 and try and get my knight out of the way of things. Knight takes e6 from Kronos. Okay, and now I can trade queens. I'm looking at trading queens and then taking the pawn, and then I don't know. We'll see. Okay, first things first. Trade queens. f4 from Shamax. I'm going to castle. a6 from Aziz. We made 30 moves very quickly, and let's see. So I go queen c8. He's coming up. Maybe very big counterplay for him here. Let me try queen e6. I think that I got problems here. Queen takes c5 from Donji. And let's see what to do here. So he got one pawn back. Is his king in bad shape, though, is the question. I'm looking for ways to bother his king here. It would be nice if I could get my queen into his position somehow. Let's see what to do here. I think I'm going to try rook to c8 and see if I could get some activity going. Knight takes c4 from Indiana Fats, and I'm going to go bishop to b7. I think I developed my bishop. Okay, bishop d3 from Moving Dutchman. I guess I go g6. And queen takes Mr. Neal, bishop takes b7, queen takes b7 for me. And A Laziz, rook a3, as we expected. And I'm just going to try rook to a7. I think this is the only game where I got big trouble. King g7 against Moving Dutchman, castling against t-knight. And now let's see what happens here. I'm going to go rook c2 against Dodgy, and I feel like I'm getting very active in this game. All right, now t-knight has gone pawn to a4. And I'm wondering what I'm doing with my knights here. I'm looking at knight e5 stuff, but then he goes f4. Maybe c4 is my right idea here to try and get some knight out to c5 or into d3. Okay, Mr. Neal's gone queen f3, and I have to trade the queens, but I think I'm happy there. Hayen's gone pawn to g4. And now I'm looking to see what's the situation here. If I take on g4, maybe he's getting into some kind of e5. I was wondering about just maybe rook to h8 or something like that. Let's see, king c7. Maybe isn't bad. Let's see. I also, what about if I go h4? I think I should go h4 and just bypass. Okay, let's see what Shamex is up to. I'm going to go bishop to b7. Rook a e1 from Trivial Pursuit. I'm going to trade the bishops on g2. Rook to, let's see, what do I do with my rooks here against Mr. Neal? I'm going to go rook to d3, try to double rooks. All right, now let's see what's happening here against Kronos. I'm thinking about rook to c6, just forking everybody. Let's give it a try out. Rook to c6. Okay, GM, a4, and I'm going to go knight f6, develop. Dodgy has gone knight c3, and I'm really active here. I think that I'm making sure he doesn't castle or something, making sure my rook doesn't get messed up. I'm wondering about rook takes g2. I'm going to go rook takes g2. This game has become a mess. Bishop takes f6 from Lieben. Paul and I recapture. King a2 from A Laziz. And I'm just going to go h6. Bishop g5 from Raster, attacking my pawn. And now I'm looking to see. I really don't want to go f6. I think I'm going to try king f8. Usually the king's not happy there, but we'll see. Okay, now what's going on with Kronos? If I go rook takes b6, his knight can come out to g6. Well, but I think I got to still be happy about that, right? So I'm going to go rook takes b6. Castling from against GM. Let's see. So we have Hayen is trying to get his pawn in there. He's gone. I'm going to go g5 and try and hold everybody. Castles from GM, and I'm going to go knight to d5. And bishop to e3 from Raster. And I'm just looking at pawn takes pawn on b3. And try to break them up. Okay, now what's happening here with Lieben's pawn? If I go bishop to g7, does he have any fancy stuff? I think bishop g7 looks okay. Rook takes rook from Raster. King b3 from A Laziz. And very, very interesting play here now. What's happening? I'm going to try bishop to e7. Queen b3 3 from A roster, and now I'm looking at various moves here. I don't know. Knight C5, maybe Knight C4. Would that threaten anything? Knight D2 checks or any kind of thing like that? I'm looking at Knight C4 threatening to take his bishop. I think I'm going to try Knight C4. Let me see if I counted right against Misha Bobby. Bishop E4 from Moving Dutchman. Now, what is he up to here? Is there some kind of thing with getting a knight to E5 in some position? How about can I just go rook to D8? Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking about G4. I have to be careful of Queen C7. Is that right too? Lots of stuff going on here. Maybe just Knight A5. I'm worried about his rook coming to D8. Let's see what to do here. This one is harder than I thought. Knight A5 doesn't make any sense. G5 chasing his queen into C7 does not feel right at all. Queen to E7 playing a little defense possibly. I'm going to try Queen E7 playing a little defense. Okay, rook takes E4, bishop takes E4. Let's see, and now, all right, now Shamax. I would like to get D5 in here, so I'm working on that. Let's see, rook E1 from GM, and let's see what to do here. I think I'm going to go knight on D to B4, maybe bother him a little bit. So I won the exchange against Misha Bobby, but I don't know. Was it? But how is it though? So okay. Trivial Pursuit's going king to G2. I think I'm going to go Queen C6 check. See if I can bother him there. I'm going to go Bishop to A6 against Rocky Top. Bishop to B2 from Bishop Mate. I'm going to go Queen to B6. King H2 against Trivial Pursuit. And I'm going to put some knight on D5, I think. Let me go knight E D5, open up the file. Knight back to G6 for Kronos. And I'm looking to see if I could just go pawn takes D3 here. I don't know. Is there any funny mate stuff going on? I'm going to go pawn takes D3 and try and make queens. Why not? Okay, bishop mate, knight F4, and I'm going to go bishop to E4. That was always my idea there. Let's see, knight back to E5 for Kronos. And he's threatening to take with check. So now, if I go bishop to D5, I'm just trying to come out with this, but I'm not going to be up any material here. Is D2 any good? D2, I'm not so sure that D2 does anything. Maybe he goes bishop takes F7 first or something. So that's or what is wrong with rook to D1 also. So this one, I feel like I thought I was better, but it feels like it's becoming kind of equal. So I think I'm going to just go bishop to D5. Looks like a normal move, and it's becoming equal. Okay, what's happening with bishop mate? Very interesting move he played here. Now I'm looking to see if I go bishop takes D5. Is that any good? Bishop takes D5, bishop takes, all right, I'm going to go bishop takes D5. There's other moves I should look at, but bishop takes D5, let's do it and see what happens. Knight takes D5 from Kronos. Let's see, now Heian has gone rook F1, and I thought I was just going to go bishop E7. I mean, I'm starting to get myself a little tied up here. Bishop E7 looks okay. Knight takes D5, knight takes D5 from bishop mate. I guess I'll just go king to F8 against Kronos. Make sure that knight E5 doesn't bother me. Knight takes C5 from A Laziz. And I'm going to try queen to D6. traded bishops from Rocky Top. Now, knight c3 from Lieben's pawn. And can I just go, I'm going to see, can I just go b4? Knight to d5 from bishop mate. And I'm going to see, I'm going to go bishop to f6. Rook to a5 from A-Laziz. And now, am I at least bothering him here? I mean, I want to at least bother the guy a little bit. Let's see. I'm looking at queen d1 check. Rook e5 from Hayen. Hayen's bothering me here. And now I'm looking to see, can I go king to c7 and get my pieces out? King a2 from A-Laziz, and now I'm looking at various things here. I don't know. Rook to c2, rook c7, don't know. Do I have any perpetuals anywhere? I don't see it. If I move my rook, I got a problem. So I think I'm gonna try queen to d4, and I think I'm just worse there. Now, what happened with bishop mate? Did bishop mate just hang a piece? Bishop takes d4. And T knight has gone bishop e3. And I'm thinking of going knight to e5. And at least, try and get some activity going here. Knight c4 from GM. And now I'm wondering about d3 for me here. And then a board switch, king g2 from T knight. And now I'm checking out what to do here. Looking at knight d3, looking at knight d7. I think I'm going to try knight on f to d7 and see if I could drum up some business. Queen e2 from Rocky Top, good move. I put my rook back to a8. And now let's see what's happening here with Kronos. He's threatening knight to d7, winning my rook, and I think I can just play knight back to f6, and I think that position's probably pretty equal. All right, let's see what's going on here. A-Laziz, knight back to b3, and I'm going to go queen to e3 and keep an eye on things. h4 from Moving Dutchman, and I'm going to go rook a d8. Bishop takes f6 from Shamax. Bishop takes f6 for me. It feels like it's been a long time since we've seen the Eternal Warrior game. I'm going to castle. I'm trying to play for pawn structure there. Bishop takes c6 from Nejmadinov. And I think I'm just going to take back with the knight on c6 and hope my light square bishop bugs him later. Queen c7 looks decent against Indiana Fats. Simal's been going for about an hour. Let's see what's happening here. And now A-Laziz is pushing his other pawn. I'm going to try bishop to f6, and I don't know what's he's up to something here. This is I don't know. This one might be almost over. I'm going to try bishop to d8, and Hayen is really doing a good job here. He's I think he's outplaying me a little bit. He's getting some stuff going here. Now, I'm gonna go king to d6 against Hayen and try and drive him back at least. Queen g3 from Moving Dutchman. And can I ever go knight a5 and just trade some stuff? Let's see. Knight f3 from Kronos. I think this position is just about equal. I'm going to go rook to d6. Knight c4 from Rocky Top. I'm going to trade knights. I think I'm happy about that situation. Lieben's pawn's got knight to e4. And I'm looking to see, can I go f5? And now queen to b8 from A-Laziz looks like a good move. And I don't know. I think that this one might be over. It went 39 moves and the guy plays very fast, so I think that I have to resign that one. So I'm already down one. Okay, let's do rook to d8 against Mr. Neal. And Dodgy is, wow, what is going on here? Pawn takes b2 feels like some kind of good move for me. If I ever got my queen in there, it would be really a disaster for him. I'm looking at like things like bishop to f6. Rook takes b2. He goes queen takes a3. That could be all right for me. Let's see. If I go bishop to f6, what's the story there? He's taking that h pawn. Does it do anything? Don't know. I think maybe queen c8 is something to consider. And we'll see what kind of business we get going there. Okay, Trivial Pursuit's gone knight back to d1. And I'm looking to see about doubling some rooks. Maybe rook to e6. I got to be careful. Rook to e6. I'm looking to see, does he have any tactics? Rook e6. So does that mean I should go just rook to e7? Let me go rook to e7 and keep my stuff protected. Kronos has cemented his knight with b4, and I'm just going to go knight to d7. King to f1 for Mr. Neal. And I think probably I'm just going to go h6. Knight takes b7 against moving Dutchman. I'm still playing for pawn structure there. Going to develop with b6. Indiana Fats, a4 now. When will knight b4 ever do anything for me? I mean, I have to admit, I'm a little afraid of that diagonal that he has there. I'm going to try knight to b4, and then he'll no doubt threaten mate, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, now, Shamanax, when can I go d5? When can I take his pawn? I'm going to try bishop to a8 and then see if I can finally take that b2 pawn. All right, moving Dutchman, h5. I have to reply g5. Not much thought there. G5 against Mr. Neal looks like the kind of thing I should do. d4 from Hayen. And now I would like to get his rooks away from me. I'm wondering about rook to f8 just to trade stuff. Let me do rook f8 just to trade stuff. And now bishop f4 from Mish Bobby. So I won the exchange, and now I got to see what's my next thing to do. All right, knight ed2. I'm going to castle against Liebman's pawn. F4 from T knight. I'm going to go knight into D3. Let's see. We got Trivial Pursuit has gone pawn to C4. And I think I'm going to go knight back to C7. Guard some squares. All right. Now, Nejmadinov has developed with knight F3. I think I'm just going to go bishop to G7 there just in case some queen C3 thing happens. That's annoying. Eternal Warrior. Okay, knight c3 from Trivial Pursuit. There's some chance all rooks will get traded here. Castles from Liebman's pawn. I think I'm going to go rook e8. Knight b7 from Kronos. What's he trying to do to me? I'm going to go rook d3. You never know. Maybe I could take some pawns. Bishop f2 from Dodgy. Any exchange sacks anywhere? Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna take on b2. Rook a1 from Kronos, and now what's Kronos up to? Do I get my king out of the box? Is he trying to go a4? Can I stop him from going a4? I was thinking about rook to d4 to try and stop him from that. Okay, let's see what's happening here with Dodgy. I'm going to go queen to c4, trying to get active in this game against Dodgy. King f1 from Mish Bobby. And I'm going to go knight to e4, see if I could get in there. All right, Shamax. I feel like I should take Shamax's pawn here on b2, finally. Okay, knight f6, I'm going to try against Indiana Fats, see what's going on there. H3 from Mr. Neal. Now, Mr. Neal, I'm wondering if I could ever play knight to h3. But no, I can't. He has knight e1, huh? So I got to be careful about that situation. All right, I'm just going to go king g7 and get out of the way of stuff. Let's trade rooks. Eternal Warrior trying to trade off all the rooks. Bishop a6 against Lieben's pawn. I think I'm pretty happy in that game. And now Duke Bishop has gone, and somebody challenges me to a game right in the middle of the Simul. And I'm looking to see if I can go b5 against Duke Bishop. And then what's his story? Will he go queen to a5 then? All right, I'm going to go b5 against Duke Bishop. Let's trade off all the rooks against Eternal Warrior. I mean, I am playing for pawn structure. Let's see. We got a confusing move here. Hayen just simply went knight takes g5. And now I'm looking to see what kind of stuff. I'm looking to see, can I go rook to g8 simply? I don't know. I mean, is he getting stuff back here? Bishop to f6 is a curious move. I don't know. Is Bishop f6 allowed attacking his rook? That might be the right thing to do. Let's see. So I'd be attacking this rook. All right, I'm gonna try Bishop to f6. See how that goes. Queen a5 from Duke Bishop, and I'm gonna go rook to a7. Trade off all the rooks against Eternal Warrior. Rook takes e7, probably trading off all the rooks against Trivial Pursuit. Knight a5 from Kronos, and I'm going to try knight to b6. Queen e2 from t-knight. And now, am I sticking knights all over the face, and does it do something? All right, I'm going to go knight to c5. All the rooks are getting traded against Trivial Pursuit, so I will retreat and will trade off all the rooks. Knight to d4 from Moving Dutchman, and now he's threatening stuff like, is he threatening stuff like knight c6? What's my solution here? I don't know. I was thinking about queen f6, rook to d5. I don't know. I have to look out for things. Maybe queen c5 is just the safest move. Let me try queen c5 and see. I got to be careful of tactics there. That's for sure. Okay, all the rooks were traded against Trivial Pursuit. Shamanax has gone. Now, against Shamanax, I'm really wondering when I can go d5. I'm going to go h6 first and try to slow that business down. Rocky Top's gone knight to b5, and I'm going to go knight to b6. Okay, Raster has gone bishop to g5, and I was thinking in this position of going knight to d2. Let's see. Not so sure. Maybe there's something up here with bishop to f6 even. I don't know. Do I have to be afraid of do I have to be afraid of things happening there? Okay, I'm gonna try bishop to f6. Okay, Eternal Warrior is trying to trade everybody. I think I'm just gonna go queen c7. I didn't want to trade the queens. Trivial Pursuit wants to trade everything, offer the queen trade. So now I'm thinking of doing the queen trade, then playing d5. How does that look? All right, maybe I'm a little better there. I don't think I could lose it. So that's the good news. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Moving Dutchman has gone f4. And I was thinking about knight to d6, but then I got afraid of something. I can't take on with the queen maybe because of knight c6 type of stuff. So I want to be able to take with the queen. Can I just go king to h8? And he is aggressive tonight. So I'm going to go king h8 against moving Dutchman. T-knight has just snatched a pawn on me, and now I'm going to go for tactics here. Knight take. Let's see if I go knight takes b2. Is this going to work? Rook takes f8 from Hayen, and I don't know that I saw that. So let's see what happened here. Rook to b. I have to get my queen out of the way against Shamax. Let's see what's happening here with Rocky Top. Now, usually the business here is to try and trade off that knight, so I'm going to do that. Okay, very nice play from Hayen. Heian has done well here. He's gotten his pawn back. I'm going to go rook to f7. It's the best I could do on short notice. Nezhmadinov is developing now against Nezhmadinov. I'm really trying here to see if I could do some kind of thing. Bishop g4 sort of feels like it's a good move, doesn't it? I mean, can he really castle in this type of position? Bishop e6 doesn't look bad. All right, I'm going to go bishop e6. I'm going to continue to be active. We got Mr. Neal has gone h4, undermining me. And now if I go g4, so I'm going to go g4, and let's see how that one works. I'm going to go d5 against Trivial Pursuit. Pawn takes pawn against Heian. Queen b3 against Dodgy, and let's see. I'm going to go queen to d3 against Dodgy. I'm trying to worm my queen in there. Okay, now we got knight to c6 against Kronos. I'm going to go rook back to d6. And now we have Eternal Warriors going queen to e2. And I'm going to try and soften them up with queen to c6. Queen to f3 for moving Dutchman. Now, what is he trying to do here? I'm looking at knight to d6 type of stuff. And wondering if he's going to snatch something here. Okay, knight to a5 is solid looking. All right, I'm going to try knight to a5, defend some squares. Okay, we got Eternal Warrior to soften himself up. And now I'm going to try queen c5 check, see if I can maybe make some back rank stuff going. Let's see, T-knight has gone e5, and let me see what to do here. I'm going to go knight takes c4 and see if I could collapse him a little bit. Okay, now, where do I go here against Mr. Neal? I was thinking I was going to go rook to d2, but then something was bothering me, so I'm just going to go rook to d4 and see if I can bother his pawns. Okay, queen e1 from Shamax. Well, all right, I'm going to go d5. I wanted d5, and I think I'm finally going to get it. Okay, Raster has gone. Let's see. Raster has gone queen to b4, offering a queen trade. Typical Benko Gambit stuff. I think I'm going to take the queen trade. I'm down a pawn, but that's the Benko for you, right? Okay, I'm going to go against Heian. I'm going to go rook to f4. Okay, now, Eternal Warrior, we got him to move his king over. Now, what's my next thing to do here? Sure, I would like to work on his e-pawn some, if possible. Okay, now, let's see what to do here against Raster. Bishop takes bishop, possibly. Let's see. So I just went d5 against Shamax, and sometimes the boards don't work well in these in these games. So if I don't come to you, I hope to find you at some point. h4 from Shamax, and now I don't know. I was thinking about bishop. Am I afraid here? I was thinking about bishop takes h4. This could get very sharp here. D4, I don't know. D4, where would he go if I went D4? All right, I think D4 might be a good move. I'm going to go D4. Okay, queen E4 check from moving Dutchman. And I'm going to go king to G7, I guess. Let's see. Now, the Raster game came back. And I'm going to see here. I'm thinking... I don't know if I'm afraid of his pawn yet. Let me see. I'm going to take. I guess I'll take on G5 and see what the story is there. Okay. Now Kronos has gone knight E5, and I'm going to go F6. Get rid of his knight. And now let's see what happens here. I don't see Raster. I'm thinking about going maybe knight to e5 and trying to get knights all over the place here. Okay, we got Kronos is moving his knight all over. I mean, I don't know where his knight's going though. Okay, Mr. Neal has gone g3, and I'm going to go knight to G6 and attack his pawn. I'm going to go G5 against Kronos, really bouncing that knight all over the place. Now, Mish Bobby has gone knight to D2, and I'm going to try D5. Okay, now, against T-Knight, his position feels a little loose here. Anything tactical, or do I just retreat with knight to D7? I'm just going to retreat with knight to D7. Okay, let's see. Against Heian, I'm going to snatch his D-pawn. And let's trade knights against Rocky Top. Okay, now, Heian is trying to get his pawns going. And I don't know, do I have to get my pawns going too is a good question. All right, I'm going to go rook D2 check. Duke Bishop traded queens. Let's see. Now, Eternal Warrior has gone bishop to D3. And I'm going to try to soften him up again with queen to A5. Okay, Mish Bobby has gone bishop to E3. And I'm going to give myself some air with H5. Not such an easy game here. F4 from Mr. Neal. And now, how do I bother him? Maybe my knight could come to... All right, I'm going to see if my knight can get to F5 and bother him there. Duke Bishop, what do I want to take back with? I think I'm going to take back on D7 with the knight and see if I can get myself developed. Rocky Top's retreated tonight. I'm going to go rook to B8. Let's see. Now, can I finally bother Kronos? I'm going to try rook to D3 and see if I can bother his pawn. Now, Heian is threatening to have two connected passed pawns. I'm going to try to get my pawns going. Let's see. I can go rook to D3 check and make his king go backwards. Maybe, all right, I'm going to try rook to D3 check, see if I can make that king go back. That could help me. Okay, now, against Kronos, if I ever go knight C4, he's going to go A4, I guess, right? So, I don't know. I'm wondering if I can go rook to B3, try and be active like that. I don't know. I mean, all right, I'm going to try rook to B3 and see if I could be active. Bishop C4 from Eternal Warrior. And I don't know. I'm really trying to work on this pawn there. So I'm wondering here about B5 to trade the B pawn for the A pawn and maybe get a passed pawn. And then he has a passed pawn too. Bishop to D5, I'm not so sure about. G6, does that help me or does it hurt me is another thing. Okay, I'm going to try G6 and we'll see what the thing is. Knight A5 from Duke Bishop. And I guess I'm going to just go Bishop to D6. Okay, Misha Bobby's gone Knight takes E4. I'm going to take back with a pawn. Let's see. King G2 from Heian. And now I've screwed this up so badly, I'm almost thinking of taking a draw. But I'm going to try A5. Let's see what's happening here with Lieben's pawn. I'm going to try against Lieben's pawn. I'm thinking about Queen F6. And then, all right, Queen F6 looks kind of nice. Let's see. That looks good. F5 from Moving Dutchman. And now let's see what's happening with this. If I go E5, what's his idea there? E5 maybe, I don't know. Is his idea F5 maybe? E5, F5. What's happening with that? And then his knight can come in. But what's going on with the kings there? Okay, so now pawn takes F5 is completely ridiculous. Rook E8 does not look like it comes anywhere near working. So what's my idea here? Queen to D5, does it do anything? Let's see, Queen D5 and take back with a pawn? Maybe. Oh, no, Queen D5, knight takes E6. Oops. So I may have to try this F5 check thing. Let's see, E5 and then what? Interesting game. E5, and then he goes there. I don't know. Can I take stuff and try to live? All right. I think I have to go E5. Okay, what's happening with GM? Let's see. So bishop takes B2 or knight takes D3. Knight takes D3 looks right. Okay, now Mish Bobby is, this one he's got past pawns is not easy. All right, I'm going to go F5, see if I can get people going. F6 check, good move from moving Dutchman. And I have to go King H8. Let's see, Knight C4, a good move from Rocky Top. He can maybe snatch a pawn if I'm not careful. He can definitely snatch a pawn. All right, I'm going to try Queen C8. Trades queens from T Knight. I'm going to take back with the rook. And now the big question against Trivial Pursuit is, should I push with D4? It gets a little locked. I'm not so sure what takes in Knight E4 is. That's an attempt to win that could lead to losing. All right, I think that I have to go D4. Okay, now Knight B5 from T Knight, and I guess I'll take a pawn on E5. That position's getting very short. Here we go, G5 from Hayen, and I'm gonna go I'm just gonna play A4 and see if I can win a piece. D3 from Duke Bishop, and now how do I develop here? I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna go Knight F6. Looks okay. Rook to B3 from Chamonix, and where do I put my queen? I think I'm gonna put it on. I think I'm going to go all the way back to E7. Okay, now we have to see Trivial Pursuit. It's a pretty locked position. His knights are messed up, but mine aren't really doing too much either. I'm going to try pawn to H5 and see if I can work on that side. Queen E5 from Indiana Fats. I'm going to trade on E5. That looks okay. King takes G7 from GM. Let's see. Rook takes H4 from Hayen. Let me have that bishop. So I managed to get a piece. Now we got to see if Mish Bobby's going to get his pawns going here. That's going to be the big question. I'm going to play queen to D6. Trivial Pursuit. I don't know. I'm wondering about if H4 is some kind of try for me. All right. Trade bishops against Indiana Fats. Let's see. Now, we have Kronos is trying to get active here. I'm going to go rook takes A3 and snatch a pawn. F4 from Eternal Warrior. I thought that was going to be loose, so I don't know. And now I'm thinking about stuff like bishop to A3 to maybe work on some pawns here. B5 again. I don't know what. Don't know. Bishop to D5 feels like some kind of positionally correct move, but not so sure about it. All right. Any optimistic mate thing? I don't think so. So I'm looking at bishop to A3 takes, queen takes. And then he's got to defend his pawns. All right. I don't know. Bishop A3, I'm going to try it. Let's see. Now, GM went rook to E3. And that looks like a good move. And do I want to try to stick knights all over the face? All right, so I don't know. I mean, this position, I think I'm going to go put my knight back to B4 and see what happens. We got king takes G2 from Indiana Fats. And I'm going to play, I think I'm going to go rook to D8. I don't think the double pawn should bother me that much. Okay. Kronos is trying to get active, but we'll see if that's active or not. Knight C4. Nejmadinov has retreated queen to E2. And now I'm thinking about stuff like bishop to G4 to bother him. I'm looking at bishop to E4, but I'm afraid of E4. So maybe bishop to G4. Maybe, I don't know, maybe rook to H3 is some kind of move. There's a lot of stuff. Queen to D5, but queen to D5. All right, I'm going to try bishop to G4 and see if this pin can bother him. Rook check from Kronos, and I'm going to try king G6. I don't think I can get mated out there. You never know, though. Okay, G5 from Shamax. I'll take that. Let's see. Rook A2 from T Knight. Now this game has started to look better for me. I'm looking at Rook to C4 ideas. Maybe bother the pawn. I don't know what on F4. So Rook C4 would threaten to take the pawn back. So I'm going to try Rook C4, see if I could get the pawn back. D5 from GM, D4 from GM, GM. GM's managed to outplay me here. And I'm going to try Bishop F5 and go for the see if I could get the brutal fork going. All right, F5 from let's see, we got Kronos went F4, so he is trying to drum up some kind of business, and think I'm going to try to pin him with Rook A2. Now, A takes B3 from Hayen, and now I just have to make sure that his pass pawn doesn't bother me. What is the best way for me to do that? Bishop to G6, put the bishop on G6 maybe. I'm going to try bishop to E8. Okay, A5 from T Knight, and now I'm looking to see here, Rook to B4. Don't know, some kind of knight C7 ideas maybe he could have. Let's see what else here. Knight F6 maybe for me. All right, I'm going to try knight F6. Okay, bishop to Hayen. I'll do bishop to G6. And GM has stopped me with rook to C1. And I'm going to try bishop to G4. Maybe getting rid of some knights was good. So, and now let's see what to do here. Hayen, I'm going to go bishop to E4 check. And now it's getting interesting with Kronos. Is his knight gonna move? Let's see. I'm gonna do H5. Bishop takes G5 against Shamax, or do I want to take his knight? No, bishop takes G5 looks like the right thing to do. Okay, Lieben's pawn has defended with rook to B1, and I'm just gonna go knight to D7 and come out with my pieces. All right, now if I go bishop takes B2 against Eternal Warrior, does he have perpetual check? This is something that I hadn't thought about. So, well, guess what then? I'm going to just go back with my bishop to F8 and start over again. All right, Hayen has gone. I'm going to go rook check and get my rook behind the pawn, and I think I'm happy about that. Kronos is... Okay, let's see. Kronos is trying to mate me. And let's see, but his F5 is not really mate, is it? So first I'm going to test a little bit with rook check and see what happens with that. Okay, Hayen, can I take on B? I'm going to try to take off all of his Hayen's pawns while he's not looking. And now D3 from Indiana Fats, and I'm going to go knight to... Now I have to knight to D5. Try and stick my knights all over his face. Might be a nice thing to do. Bishop takes F3 against GM. Uh-oh. GM's come up with a good one. He's gone knight E6, and that could be a nice move. Let's see what happens here. He's trying to mate me on H6. So that could be something. So this looks like a tough game. All right. Hayen has gone. I'm going to take on B2 and go behind the pawn. We got knight D4 from Kronos. King F2 from Kronos. And now I got to see, is he getting this F5 check? I'm going to give him another check and see. I don't know, maybe taking a draw there is not a terrible idea. Mish Bobby, I'm going to try to do something with H4. Let's see what's happening. GM. How about rook to C8? Looks like a sensible kind of move. And now, again, Shamax, what am I doing here? Queen to F6 looks okay. And Queen G6 from Moving Dutchman. Moving Dutchman is got some sort of big attack going here. And I don't know that I could stop it. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to go rook takes rook. And let's see. Did I just make? I don't know if I just made. I don't know if I just made it myself there. Okay. King G2 from Mish Bobby, and I'm going to take on G3. I'm trying to open them up a little bit. Rook takes rook was check, and now I have to go Queen C7. Bishop E5 against Mish Bobby, hitting the G pawn. Nezhmadinov has castled, and I'm going to see. I'm looking at various things. Rook H3 or something. Bishop takes D4. I don't know. Bishop takes D4, pawn takes D4, knight takes D4, and I get to take on F3. But maybe it looks suspicious. What about just, let me see. I'm thinking about just queen to D7. And, okay, we got Mish Bobby has gone queen to F2. And now I have to see. I'm really trying to break him somehow. All right, I'm going to try rook to F8. I'm still trying to get in there. Queen takes H6, removing Dutchman, and I have to go king to G8. All right, Hayen, I think Hayen's in trouble. I'm just going to go rook to G2 and then push my pawns. Let's see, Kronos has offered me a draw, which I certainly got to think about. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think a draw is a completely fair result there. Materials even. I'm up a pawn, but I could get mated, or he could, I don't know, or he could do something to me with F5 check and maybe bother me. I don't know. I feel like somehow I should play this, but I don't know really what this move start off with. I don't know. I'm thinking about G4 check, and then his king walks up. Interesting game. I mean, it's should I take the draw or not is the big question. I'm not in too bad a time pressure. Rook to D2 to pin him, maybe. Rook to D2 to pin him might be a good idea. I think I'm going to play and go rook to D2. Okay, now, Hayen, what is Hayen trying to do to me? My bishop is good. I think I'm just going to push my B pawn and go. All right, queen takes H5 check, and now I go king to H8, and let's see if I can survive against moving Dutchman. Let's see now. What do I want to do against Lieben's pawn? Is knight to B6 a good move, or what about bishop to B7 hitting two pawns? Knight to B6 looks okay. Let's see. Hayen has gone rook up, and I'm going to go rook to G4 and see if I can freeze his rook. All right, now, what's going on here with Shamax? I'm going to go pawn to C5 and see if I can bug him a little bit. We got Mish Bobby with bishop H6. Attacking my rook. And so he got his rook out of the way, so I'm just going to go rook to F7 and still trying to go F4. F5 check. King to H6, and let's see what's going on. I'm going to push some pawns against Hayen. Let's see. Rook to Mr. Neal went rook to C3. I'm going to go knight F5 and try and harass him on that G3 square. Let's see what the deal is here. Now, is Shamax doing something to me on the H file? I'm going to try to bother him with passed pawns. Okay, now, rook H8's coming from Kronos. And I'm looking to see here. There's if so he can go rook check and then back again, huh? Is that the idea? I go knight E4 check. He's going to protect his knight. G4 check. I'm not sure what the story is there. Probably, I don't know. Knight E5, and then he goes. And then his king is coming up, right? So that doesn't look right for me. I mean, I'm still worried about getting mated here. King G7 is kind of weird looking. King G7, he can always go knight E6 check and then king up. I don't know. I think for some reason I'm gonna try King G7. Looks a little odd, but maybe I can get my king out of there. Okay, so. Now, Hayen has gone check. I go king E5. I think that one is pretty over. Queen E3 from Mish Bobby. And now I'm looking to see, can I do F4? Let's see, RDC1 from Indiana Fats, and I'm going to go F6. Let's see what's going on here. Rook B4, Knight BC3 against Raster, and I'm going to go Knight to C5. I think I've got his pawns blocked. I'm going to try against Kronos, King to G8. All right, now, what am I doing against Lieben's pawn? Pawn takes looks right. Rook check again from Kronos, and I'll go King to F7. D6 from T-Knight. D6, and I guess I shall take, let's see, do I want to take this pawn on D6? Yes, I think so. All right. Looks like Rocky Top wants to trade the bishops. I guess I'll trade the bishops. All right, and Mr. Neal has gone Knight C2. I'll go Rook C2. I'm trying to tie him up. Now, where do I go against T-Knight with the Rook? I'm going to go Rook to C3, I think. E5 against Indiana Fats. I'm getting in a little bit of time pressure on some of these boards. Now, what do we like here? Can I do Rook takes E2 again? Rook takes E4 against Lieben and maybe snatch some stuff. All right, let's see if Moving Dutchman has anything more than a draw. I have to admit, I am scared. G4 from Trivial Pursuit, and I'll go pawn takes pawn. Queen E4 from Lieben's pawn, and now can I snatch this pawn, or is there a problem with that? Okay, let's see. Shamax is still thinking, and the board switch. Shamax went Queen to G3, and I'm going to go D3. Rook to B4 against Rocky Top. Let's see now. What do I like here against Trivial Pursuit? How about Knight to H5? Is that something? Let's see if I can bother some pawns. Okay, and now against T-Knight, Knight to D5. Let's see what's happening here. This position has gotten sharp all of a sudden. Okay, Moving Dutchman has gone Rook to F1. And I'm thinking of offering him a trade. Now, he's threatening something like Queen G6 and F7, so I think I have to offer him a trade with Queen to H7. Now, against Lieben's pawn, I was a little worried about something. Can I snatch this pawn on A2? I'm going to try. I'm going to snatch the pawn on A2. Okay, Queen takes E4 from Mish Bobby, and I'm going to take on F2. King back to E1, E8 against Kronos. Now, what's happening here? Let's see. Bishop D2 from Duke Bishop. And I don't know. Am I supposed to castle here or what? All right, I'm going to castle. I feel like I got squares covered. And now let's see what's happening against Kronos. I can go Knight to B6. I don't know what that does. Let's see. G4 check takes some more stuff. Interesting. Rook to D3 to keep him pinned, but I don't know. He just goes. Where does he go if I go Rook to D3? I'm gonna try Rook to D3 just for testing. Okay, Knight takes F4 from Trivial Pursuit. Queen G5 check for Moving Dutchman, and I guess I'll go. He's going to take on E5. All right, I'll go King H7. We got to see. Bishop back to E3 for Misha Bobby. And now I'm thinking just King to G7. Okay, nice Trivial Pursuit. I'll bring the other knight to E6, trying to bother him. Bishop to D2 from T-Knight. And let's see, where do I go here? I'm looking to see. Is he trying to snatch stuff? Okay, Rook to D3 looks maybe tactically correct. And now, can I snatch a pawn against Kronos? Trying to take pawns and live. Uh-oh, Duke Bishop. I better start some of these boards. I better start rolling on. Okay, I'm going to try to get a move on, as they say. All right, now what's happening with moving Dutchman? I'm trying to block him. I'm going to go rook f7. This one is getting messy here. Now, what's he threatening? Is he threatening? He's threatening queen g7. Okay. So queen g7 is kind of a big threat. All right, I'm going to go rook to f7. I'm not happy about this one, of course. Now, let's see what to do against Trivial Pursuit. I'm going to try knight to e2. h4 for Misha Bobby, trying to pry my king open, I guess. And I'm going to try bishop to f4. And now Indiana Fats has gone a5. And I'm wondering if I go b5, he's forking some pawns, so I have to be a little careful about this. I'm going to go rook to b8, just try to defend my stuff. Okay, what's happening with Kronos? Now, can he bother me here with these pieces? All right, I'm going to go rook takes g2, a5 from Raster. And now I'm thinking of trying to surround Raster's pawn. Let me go rook to a8. Let's see. We got Trivial Pursuit is trying to bother my pawns now. So I'm going to try bishop h6 against him. Okay, rook to b5. Looks like knight to c4, maybe against Raster, trying to get rid of the pawn. Okay, now what do we have here against Kronos? Can I just go rook to d2 and offer him a trade? What other things are there to do? All right, let's go. Let's try this rook to d2. Pawn takes pawn against Indiana Fats. Solid. Queen e8 check against Lieben's pawn. And now I am looking to see king to h7. Looks right. I have to go bishop h6 against Shamax. Let's see, bishop to d4 from Misha Bobby, and now I'm getting a little concerned about this one. All right, I gotta try king h6. Not happy about how I played this. What's going on with Nezhbedinov? Can I go rook takes h4? I think I'm going to castle first, and then see if I could go rook takes h4. Okay, what's happening here with Kronos? Does he have any perpetual checks? Should I go knight e5 check and see where his king goes? If his king goes over there, or do I want to push my pawns? I'm gonna push my pawns. I'm gonna go up. All right, I'm gonna try and bother him, Shamax, with my past pawns. And now let me see what's going on here against Mr. Neal. He just went a4. I'm going to go h5. Up. Sorry, Mr. Neal. I almost missed it. Do I have rook takes c2 winning? I almost missed that. Queen g7 from moving Dutchman is a very good move. And I think that's about it there. If I go rook takes, he wins. Good game. Very good game from moving Dutchman. Okay, here comes Kronos' king. His king's coming up. But maybe I want his king to come up. I'm going to go knight e5 check and see if I can push that h-pawn. "64 moves, wow. When you're playing the game, you're not really looking at the number of moves, but that's a lot of moves. Okay, so I'm trying. I think my h-pawn looks a little annoying. Now, what's he up to here? What's he trying to do with his king? All right. I'm going to keep on pushing. Duke Bishop, Rook C2. I gotta develop myself here. Let's see. Knight to B. All right. I'm going to try knight to B6. Check against Trivial Pursuit. Let's see. Now, what happened here? Knight takes D4 from Raster. And I'm just going to go knight takes a5. I'm still going to try to be active with my knights and rook. Okay, now we got Shamax has gone knight c3. I'm going to go d2 and try and bother him with those. Let's see. Duke Bishop is building up on me. And he wants to go b4, and b4 might be happening. All right, I'm gonna, let's see, can I, if I move my rook somewhere, I'm gonna move my rook somewhere. I think he's got big pressure here. Check from Mr. Neal. Queen C6 from Lieben's pawn. And I'm looking to see what to do. Knight A4. Knight A4 looks maybe like a move. And now we got to see rook to G1 from Shamax. And how do I want to do this? Rook to D4. Now, what's he trying to do here? It's a good question. It's a little weird looking here. Does he want? He wants to do something with the rook takes H6, I think. So if I go rook to D4, well, let me try rook. Let me try actually rook to C8 and see if I could maybe trade some rooks off. All right, let's see what's happening against Raster. He's trying to box my knights out. You never know; he might have a chance to do that. I don't know. Does knight B7 do anything for me? I'm going to try H4. Maybe harass him a little bit on the other side. All right, now what's happening with Nejmadinov? I'm getting in a little bit of time pressure here. I feel like somehow opening him up with E5 might be the right thing to do. Or let's see, or bishop takes. Let's see, maybe bishop takes and queen G4. But then what does he do there? Then I'm not. He's attacking my F7 pawn. All right, I think I'm going to try this E5 move and just get on with it here. Okay, bishop E3 from Duke Bishop, good move. I'm going to go knight to D7. Bishop F3 threatening. Rook takes H6, and I think I'm going to go king to H7. A knight back to Indiana Fats. I think I'm okay in that game. Now, what's happening here with this Kronos? Is he somehow mating me here? Am I missing something? Let's see what to do. Let's see. All right, I'm going to make a queen. I see check, and I see king E7, and I see one more check and block. So let me have a queen. Knight takes, probably with the backward knight. Rook check against Kronos, king up. Let's see what Liebsen pawn has just attacked. My king to G2. And now let me see what should I do here. What is he up to? Knight, can I go? No, rook takes is not good. Maybe I have to go queen back to D8. Okay, Raster's retreated, rook to B1, and I'm going to go knight to C4. Let's see now. Bishop to D3 against Mish Bobby. I don't like what I did with this one. I'm going to go rook to E7. I don't know. I might be the one trying to draw now. Let's see. I'm going to come up. Now, the good thing about my game with Trivial Pursuit is that it looks like his king, my knights are boxing his king out, so perhaps that gives me some chances. Okay, T-Knight has gone rook to E1. And now let me see what's my next thing here. What's the score? Double pawns, basically even. I don't know. I'm thinking about knight C7, but could that get too passive? All right, I'm going to try knight C7. Maybe a blockade's the right thing to do. Now, what's happening here with Mish Bobby? Queen to F3. And seems like a sensible move. If I go bishop to E5, he's got all kinds of annoying checks on the bottom, I think. So I got to be a little careful here what to do. I don't know what to do, to tell you the truth. I think I'm going to try rook to F7. I think I really messed this one up badly. Okay, knight C4 from Lieben's pawn. And I'm going to take on B2. Okay, Indiana Fats, my position looks okay here. He's going to start to bother my B pawn. And I'm gonna, let's see. Do I have to be ready to defend it somehow? How do I defend the pawn? One thing is when he goes e4, I'll have pressure on his d3 pawn. Getting into little time pressure. Rook to b7. All right, I'm gonna just try rook to b7 and and see if I could just hold like that. All right, now what's happening with Raster? f4, and I'm gonna try. Let's see if I go rook to a3. Where does he go? Maybe knight to b5. Got to be a little careful with my knights here. The knight on c4 is a little weird looking. Okay, let's see what other attempts do I have here. I don't know. King to g7, rook to b4, but rook to b4 I'm not happy about. All right, I'm going to try rook to a3. Okay, Rocky Top's gone f4. I'm going to go queen to a6. Pawn to b4 from Duke Bishop. I think that's a good move. I have the bishop down on the other side hanging, so this could be a problem. I don't know. I think I'm probably done here. Rook f8 from Kronos. And what is he trying to do to me now? I don't see the mates, so I'm just going to go rook to d6. And what's the deal with Kronos' position there? Okay, now let's see what to do here with Trivial Pursuit. My knights are doing a good job of boxing him out. Can I bring my king over? Okay, knight takes g5 from Kronos. I don't know. I mean, I got a lot of stuff that looks good here. I mean, I guess I'll just take the knight. Let's see. Against Lieben's pawn, knight takes d6. I think I'm just going to go knight d3. F6 from Kronos. I'll just go rook takes f6. Knight c4 from T knight. And I'm going to go, let's see. I'll go knight a6 and block. It's a little passive. Okay, Raster has gone knight db5, and I'm going to go rook to a5. Let's see. Now, a3 from Trivial Pursuit. He wants to go b4. All right, I'm going to go. If I go king e7 and he takes my a pawn, what's that? All right, I'm going to go king e7 and let him take my a pawn. Mish Bobby, at this point, I'm the one that's begging for the draw. And if Mish Bobby wants a draw, I shall take it. Okay, he offered me a draw. That was very nice of him. I don't know what was going on there, but I don't think it was good for me, that's for sure. Okay, bishop to h5 from Shamax. And now it feels like I should have some nice counter-attacking business going on here. All right, I'm going to go rook takes c3. And king to f1 from Indiana Fence. I'm going to bring my king closer also. Let's see here. Lieben's pawn has gone rook to f1. And now how do I drum up some business here? Do I want to push my b pawn? Let's push the b pawn. Okay, knight b6 from T knight. And so what's happening? I've blockaded him. But what's the situation there? Now, where do I go with my rook? I'm going to go rook to e8. Let's see what's happening. Nezhmadinov has developed. And I'm just going to take on d4 and try and collapse him. We're both in time pressure. Bishop to c3 from T knight. And I'm going to play rook down to d1. Try and maintain some kind of activity here. Bishop takes c5 from Duke Bishop, and I think that I got. Let's see what happens here. Is there any fighting going to be done here? Let's see. Maybe I could have some hope. I don't think so, but he piled up on my c pawn nicely there. Rook to b4 from Raster, and I'm going to go knight to a3. If I can relieve the pressure on that knight, that's going to be good. Okay, looks like I'm going to go bishop takes e4, check against Shamax. Maybe I've rebuffed his attack. We'll see. It looks like my position got a little safer, less pieces to deal with. And then let's see what he let's see what he does here. All right, e3 from Indiana Fats. I'm going to come up with my king. Simal's been going for 2 hours. Very nice. King to e2 from Indiana Fats. And I'm going to overprotect my guy with rook to b8 and see if I could maybe go b5 at some moment. Okay, bishop to f3 from Shamax. And now I'm looking to see, can I just go queen takes f5? I got a lot of passed pawns. Four connected passed pawns. Not bad. So let's see what he's up to. I don't think I've overlooked anything. Okay, knight to d4 from Raster. He's right. He's trying to strand my knights. Let's see. And my knights are kind of stranded. I'm going to try knight to a6 and see if I could unstrand them. Knight c6 from Duke Bishop. I'm surprised. I thought that seems a little fancy, but okay, let's see. I got to move my rook. No thinking about that. Rook a4 from T Knight. Now let's see what to do here. How to bother him? I'm gonna try rook to c1. Maybe get some checks going. Knight b5 from Nejmadinov. What is he trying to do to me? Nothing doing on, looks like nothing doing on c7. All right, I'll take on f3. Queen takes e4, check from Shamax. How does he block? Now, I mean, I have to be happy if a queen trade occurs there. Okay, looks like rocky top. I'm getting into some problems with time pressure here too. Rook to b8. Let's see. Now, what's the best way to do this? Just trade the queens against Shamax and get those passed pawns rolling. Let's see. I'm thinking about pawn takes pawn against Indiana Fats. All right, let's see. The opening of the G file may mean something. All right, Shamax, I'm just going to push my passed pawns like they say to do. All right, now, where should my king go against Indiana Fats is a good question. I'm going to go G6 first, make sure nothing happens on the G file. Rook A4 from Raster. I think probably I should be relieved with that if I can get my knight off of A3. Okay, let's see. Now, Nejmadinov, I'm thinking of getting this knight off my face, going A3. Knight C7 check against Trivial Pursuit. And I'm going to go king to D7. Now, my knight on A3. What's the story with that? All right, knight C7 looks good. I think maybe I can make a draw now. I'm going to see. All right, now, Trivial Pursuit has gone. Knight takes A7, and I'm going to go knight to C1. Rook takes C5 from Duke Bishop. I'm going to go bishop to D6. And now let's see what's happening here at rocky top. I'm going to go knight to C8, still trying to get rid of that knight. All right, now what's happening here with T Knight? Let's see. Is he threatening any kind of thing here? All right, I'm going to give him a check. E5 from rocky top. I'm going to go knight to B6 and see what is going on here. Knight F3 from Raster. Well, yeah, he could try to win this by taking that pawn, I suppose. That's maybe now with the double pawns. I think maybe I could still draw. I'm gonna get my knights back at least. Knight to D2 from Indiana Fats. And I'm going to go king to D7. Knight E4 from Lieben's pawn. And I make sure that there's no big threats. And I think I'm going to try to push my pawn in with B2. Knight takes H4 from Raster. And now do I want to start trading pawns with E6? Try and make a draw by trading the pawns. Knight takes D4 from Nijmadinov. And now I think I want to take it with the bishop. Okay, now Eternal Warrior. This game we haven't seen this game in a long time. I'm gonna try. What to do? Bishop to A6 is sort of tempting. All right, I'm gonna try Bishop A6 check. Okay, pawn to B4 from Trivial Pursuit. I'm gonna take on D3. Nijmadinov. I think I'm going to go knight takes D4. Rocky Top is traded, and I'll go queen takes B6, and that took me a long time to trade those things, but finally it looks okay. All right, now what's happening here with Lieben's pawn? How do I get my pawns going? Knight to E5 doesn't really do anything. Maybe rook to A1, try and unblockade him. Rook C4 from T Knight. And let's see what's going on here. I think let's see, is he trying to get his knight in there somehow? All right, I'm going to give some air with H5. Let's see, Duke Bishop Knight to E5. And no bishop opposite color position. All right, I'm going to try rook to D8. Lieben's pawn is coming up with his pawn, and that's and my pawn's dangerous on B2, but his one on D6 is nothing to sneeze at. So I don't know. I think I'm going to come back with my rook and try and be a little bit safe about this. I don't know. Queen A8 is perhaps interesting also. I'm going to try queen to A8 and do some pins and see if I can get some people going there. All right, knight G4 from Trivial Pursuit. And I'm going to go pawn takes pawn. I don't know if my D pawn's going to bother him at all. Okay, now what's happening here with the T Knight? He went H4. No tactics here yet for me. Let's see. Is he trying to? I'm going to try. Now I don't know. I have some ideas here. I don't know about F5 or something like that. Maybe. All right. I'm going to try this F5 and see what the deal is. I mean, but I don't know what I'm afraid of. There is a good question. Let's see. F5. It doesn't feel right somehow. Maybe rook to D8. Let me try rook to D8. Take some files. Okay, now Trivial Pursuit. I go knight takes B4, and I don't know. I mean, what's going on there? Let's see. Raster is trying to make some progress. I'm just going to hang out and see if I could just stop him. I'm going to go knight C7 and just hang out. Knight C6 from Duke Bishop. And thought we did that one already. I'm going to go rook back to D7. I don't think he's going to take any draws by repetition. Let's see what's happening here with Trivial Pursuit. I go knight E6. He takes the one on. Okay, I'm going to go knight E6, and then he takes the one on G6. Probably this should fizz into some kind of draw. Let's see. Indiana Fats has gone king to F3. And let me see what I should do here. He's trying to go E4. I don't know if I go king to E6. Does that make any sense? What else is going on? I don't really want to go F5. All right, I think I'm going to try king to E6. Okay, now finally, Nijmadinov, I got to like my position here. I got to like it a lot. First thing to look at is queen G4 check. And I'm going to do it. Okay, rook to b1 for Lieben's pawn, and now I'm trying to round up his d pawn here. Okay, now Shamax is I'm gonna try to keep on pushing on Shamax. Okay, yep, Duke Bishop retreated, rook on 5 to c2. I'll go bishop to b7, d6 from Lieben's pawn. And now what's the plan for me? If I can get my knight, I don't know where to get my knight. Can I? If I don't want to go bishop to f8, can I play f5? Okay, let's see what we have here. Knight b5 from Trivial Pursuit. I'm going to go knight takes g5. We have Nezhmadinov has gone queen g2. And I think I'm going to take on h4, a3 from Duke Bishop. I'm just going to go g6. I'm down a pawn here for nothing. Rook to the 7 for Shamax. I'm still pushing my past pawns. Trivial Pursuit. Let's see. I'm going to try king to d6. I think this should just be a draw. There's not so much stuff left anymore. Let's see now what to do here with Eternal Warrior. Something looking to see, do I want to provoke c4 somehow? Let's see. All right, I'm going to go queen to b5 and see if provoking c4 maybe allows me some bishop b4 check later. And now Lieben's pawn's coming up with his king. And I think that I'm going to box him out with rook to e8. Oh, where's it's still not working? Okay, d4 from Indiana Fats. Undermining my knight. Is it possible that I forgot about this? Well, b2 would be hanging. I don't know what. Let's see. I was gonna go f5. I think. Well, if I go f5, does he have other tricky stuff to do? All right, I'm gonna try f5 and take the steam out of this thing. Okay, looks like Duke Bishop's trading, and he's just up a pawn for nothing. We got Nezhmadinov has gone bishop to f4. And I'm thinking about knight to e2 check. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Duke Bishop can just take his time. This could be a real ordeal. Knight check from Trivial Pursuit. Let's see. Knight Trivial Pursuit is after my last pawn. Well, I have two of them, but I mean, it's not. He could trade his knights for all of them. And I can't imagine that this is a win. Probably this should be a draw. A lot of long games today. Wow. A lot of long games. King up for Trivial Pursuit. I go knight c5. Rook takes e2. Nezhmadinov. I take on f4. Knight c8 from T Knight. And let's see, anything funny here going on? He's pinned. Is knight e7 some kind of catastrophe for me? I don't know. I think I'll play. I think I'm going to go knight to b8. Rook e4 from Nezhmadinov. Okay. And where do I go? I'm going to play queen d6. Start to harass him with some checks. Trivial Pursuit. Let's see. Now, I think that I'm just going to offer him a draw. Knight check, offer a draw. Eternal Warrior went king to d1, and I'm going to go queen check. Trying to harass him a little bit here. I don't know. I thought he had safer than that. Okay, now, what's bishop to here threatening to win a pawn? Let's see. I will offer a draw to Trivial Pursuit. I guess I should play a move. I'll go knight e5 and then offer him a draw. Knight to d6 from T Knight. And now let's see what's going on here. No tactics for me yet. Now is knight d7 some sort of move? Is he trying to set up e6? Maybe he's trying to set something up here. Let's see. If I go knight d7, he goes e6. Takes. I think I'm going to try rook to a8. I'm not sure that I'm happy about how this one has turned out. Looks like Duke Bishop is after my pawns now. All right, now Rocky Top. This is about to get out of control here because I get c4 check stuff going, right? So let me do c4 check. Maybe get a nice pass pawn. We got Nezhmadinov. I'm going to play queen to b6 check and see if I can harass his king. Rook c7 from t-knight. And I'm playing for tricks here. Rook to a3. Try to pin him a little bit. Okay, now, let's see. Knight e3 from Trivial Pursuit. I offered him a draw. He offered me a draw. I didn't see it. So, all right, I'm going to go knight e6 check. And now, has Nezhmadinov lost? Do I have rook check on h1? Let's see. The wins are few and far between in this thing. Okay, looking at pawn takes e5 for Rocky Top. Knight takes f7 from t-knight. Now, what's a good move here for me? I'm looking at, if I go rook to d7, what does he have? He has some checks and stuff, so I think that this one is also a real situation here. Let's see, rook e8. Rook e8? No, I don't think so. What else? Rook d5 doesn't seem good. Rook e8. All right, I don't know. I'm going to try rook e8. Still playing for some tricks. Duke Bishop has gone knight to b3, so he's making slow progress. It's the right way to do it. I'm going to go king f6, just trying here. Lieben's pawn's gone knight to b6, and I'm going to see now, can his knight ever dislodge me? And his king is trying to, right? All right, I'm going to try and get my king closer also. Rook to bishop to a1 from Indiana Fats. He just wants to take a pawn. And I don't know, maybe he could take a pawn and I could blockade sometimes. What if I go let me go rook to a7. And maybe I could bother him on the e3 square sometimes. Okay, so Lieben's pawn has gone king e2. His king came out, and now I'm going to see, can I bother him with any knight? Let's try knight check. Maybe I can get a knight to c3. Let's see what's going on here with Trivial Pursuit. Now, I'm just going to check him on d7, and the heck with it. Pawn takes pawn from Indiana Fats. I don't know if I have rook takes a3 here. Rook takes a3, and he goes what? So I guess I'll go pawn takes c5. Okay, now Trivial Pursuit. I'll go knight c5. I don't really understand why we're playing this. Rook to b6 for Duke Bishop. The other rook is coming in now. Knight takes rook to f3. The boards are going. I don't know what happened with Shamax here. I have no idea what that is. What does the guy want here? I mean, I don't know. It's some kind of other thing here. I mean, this is ridiculous. I can't play blitz right in the middle of a simul. Rook f3 from t-knight. And I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can do some knight a6 thing. I don't know what's going on with Trivial Pursuit. I'll just make some solid moves. Now, what's going on here with Eternal Warrior? Do I snatch a pawn or do I try to mate him? I mean, snatching a pawn is going to be pretty good, I think. So queen takes g2 is the lazy way out. Trivial, let's see, T-Knight is doing a good job here. Let's see. Now I'm looking at some kind of stuff. Can I go? I'm going to try knight to b8. Knight d5 from Trivial Pursuit. I guess I'll go b5. Rook on. Now Duke Bishop is after my pawn, and I think that I have to resign there. Good game from Duke Bishop. Sorry, did I? Yeah, I think I resigned. Sorry, I thought I offered a draw for a second, and I mean, that wouldn't be nice. Okay, let's see what happens here. Queen d6 against Rocky Top. Rook takes from Indiana Fats, and I'll go. I guess I can go. Can I go? Rook takes b1, and let's see. Lieben's pawn. I'm going to see what's going on here. I'm going to go knight to a2, and Indiana Fats. I'm going to go king to d6. Maybe I have some drawing chances here. Really nothing left in the Trivial Pursuit game. Eternal Warrior. So I don't know. I mean, these simul's are getting tougher all the time here. Usually I think my best simul was actually where I was playing. My best simul wasn't bad. It was okay. Now let's see what's going on here with T-Knight. Any chance here? Any chance at all? I'm gonna try. I gotta try Rook takes c3 and see if that's a chance. Okay, now Queen e4 from Rocky Top, and I guess I go pawn takes pawn. All right, now let's see what's happening with Lieben's pawn. Lieben's pawn's coming up over with his king. I guess I go knight to d4 check. I really want to keep that b pawn. I really want to keep that guy. Okay, knight d3 check. Let's see what to do here now with Indiana Fats. I'm going to try the, let's see, let me just try rook to e7. See if I can work on that pawn. Rocky Top is threatening my f7 pawn, and I would like to keep it. Can I just go f6 or f5? I'm going to try f5. All right, now Eternal Warrior. I guess I should be winning here, huh? I took a pawn. All right, now let's see what's happening. Is Lieben's? Let's see. Where is Lieben's pawn king heading here? Is he going to try to bother me? All right, I'm going to come up with my king and get my king to d6. Rook to b3. Let's see what's going on here with Indiana Fats. Let's see. Does knight to a5 do anything? Knight to a5 and then knight to c4. But then he has bishop to e4 check, so I don't really like the way that looks. All right, I'm going to try a6. Whoa, okay, Rocky Tops played a good one. He's threatening rook to e6. But can I'm just maybe I can just make queens because of the back rank. Okay, let's see what's going on here with Eternal Warrior. Now I'm afraid I don't want it to get locked. All right, I'm going to do bishop f1 check, maybe time to that pawn, okay? Now, what's going on here with T-Knight? King takes. What just happened there? All right, now, Rocky Top is stopping me from making a queen, and I'm thinking of going king to g7. Then he's got queen c3 type of stuff. Should I go? I'm going to go rook to b3. He's got to be careful where he goes. Okay, king c4 for Lieben's pawn, and now is he threatening to take? Is he threatening to take my pawn? Is the question here. And then he gets some. Does he get some king c6 thing? All right. I'm gonna put my bishop on f6, so just in case to keep an eye on things. Knight d2 from Indiana Fats. I'm gonna go g5, try and undermine here. Let's see now. Against Eternal Warrior, I think I want to try to get my king in. So I will come up with my king and try and get it in from the side. Knight e1 from Lieben's pawn. And now let's see what to do here. Let me go rook to d8. I've stopped that pawn, so that's good. Now, all of a sudden against t-knight, is this that bad? Is this that bad? I mean, is he trying to take all my pawns? I'm gonna try to make a draw here. I think that probably I'm okay. Queen to b1 from Rocky Top, and I would like to, if possible, go queen takes d5. All right, I will go queen takes d5. And finally, after a long battle, Trivial Pursuit, it's got to be a draw. Bishop a4 from Eternal Warrior. I see what he's up to there. He wants to come down and bother that one. All right, I'm going to go a5, so when my king goes, he bugs me there. All right, let's see what's the story here. I'm going to go king to e7 and try and get my king activated. Knight takes f4 from Indiana Fats. I don't know what's happening here, as usual. Rook c7 check from T-Knight. And I'm looking to see, I would really like to go knight d7. And can I do it? Well, I just did it, so we'll see. I don't know if he has e6 or not. Okay, Rocky Top. Can I offer a trade of queens? Let's see what's happening here now with Eternal Warrior. He's in bad time pressure. He's tied me down to my pawn. He's trying to keep the king from coming in. A good idea. And I have to see now if my king comes in over there. I think I'm going to try to rewind and then see. Okay, rook check from T-Knight. Let's see. Now, Lieben's pawn has gone knight a4. And what's the deal here then? Okay, I would like to, he wants to take c5. All right, I'm going to try knight to a6. Okay, now we got Eternal Warrior is coming out this way with his bishop. And how do I would like to get my bishop somewhere nice. I don't know if his king ever gets active. All right, I'm going to go king e7. All right, now we got to see what's going on here. Indiana Fats. I'm going to go rook to the bottom and see what happens. I've managed to trade queens against Rocky Top. I got to be happy about that. King takes e6 against T-Knight. And now let's see against Rocky Top. How about rook to a3, maybe taking some stuff. All right, now, am I going to make the draw against T-Knight? I could be nuts and just keep playing, but I don't think so. I think it should be a draw. Okay, now, looks like Rocky Top has gone h3, and I will go rook takes a4. Looks right. And knight e4 check from Indiana Fats. Okay. And I'm going to go, can I go king up, or does he have rook b5 check is a question here. Rook b5 check, and then my king goes up. So do I have to go back with my king? And is this passed pawn he's got really bugging me here? So, all right, I would like to go up with my king, but I don't think I can. I see he has rook c5 check. Right? So I think I have to go king to c7. Okay, knight c5 from Lieben's pawns, and I guess I trade. I still have that thing on b2 to bother him with. Okay, now rook takes A5, and I'm going to offer a draw if he wants it. Okay, now Eternal Warrior is all of a sudden coming over with his king, some activity, but I'm taking that pawn. So I'm going to go F6, see if I can make a pass pawn on my own. King E7 looks right against Lieben's pawn. And now does to A1 just win for me in the Rocky Top game? Rocky Top had a good position. I think that Rocky Top probably what happened at Rocky Top there was I think Rocky Top should have what done is I thought he should have taken on C3 with a pawn, and that was going to make his position really solid. Okay, let me go knight F8 against this one. Now we got Indiana Fats is trying to take some stuff here. Maybe I have to be careful that he doesn't make a queen. What if I check him a few times? Okay, now Lieben's pawn, and I will put my, let's see, if I put my king back, I would really like to take D7, but then he goes knight D3 and takes D2, and I don't know. So the question here is, can I play king to, I'm going to try king to D6 and see if I can make any progress. All right, let's see. Eternal Warrior is trying to take all my pawns, and I'm going to make pass pawns too. And then we're going to see what kind of mess happens here. All right, Lieben's pawns, what's he trying to do to me? I'm going to go bishop to E5 and see if I can box his knight out. Okay, rook takes H5 from T knight, and we have hardly anything left, so that one, I think T knight had me there, and something happened. Okay. I'm offering T knight a draw, and should be a draw. Okay. Here comes Eternal Warrior, and I'm going to start pushing my pawns. All right, what's happening here with Indiana Fats? I thought that I might have knight H3 trading stuff. He's got pass pawns all over the place, though. And let's see. I guess I will try H5. And I don't know, maybe something will happen. Okay, this Eternal Warrior game is really heating up here. It wasn't the best technique, I don't think, on my part, but we'll see. All right, now, I think I'm a little ahead in the race here, so let's see how it goes. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here. Trying to make the queen like this. Bishop to G2 and G3 is the way to do it. I don't think his king can come back. And if he goes bishop C6, I have a queen in tricks. Okay. Now, let's see what's Indiana Fats has gone rook to C3. And I have to unpin myself. And he's not in good shape as far as his pins go. So can I go king to D7? Okay, now Lieben's pawns has gone H3. And I have rook to D6. Rook to D6. There's other weird stuff here too. Rook to D6. But then, okay, and then where will I move? Where will I move my bishop? And then does he have knight C5 after? That's a strange game. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking to see if I. Now, one thing is, I think I have to go rook to B6 because rook to E1 might show up all of a sudden. Okay, so he's done that. All right, I'm going to go bishop to F6. All right, H4 from Indiana Fats. And let's see what do I got here. Knight H3. Knight H3 is going to be Bishop c6, okay, and then I'm going to go g3. Trying queening stuff here. Threatening g2. I feel like my simals lately have not been good. You know, I mean, it's you know, it's a lot of fun. You know, but it's getting harder. Okay, we got Indiana Fats has, okay, we'll trade some stuff. And then, okay, now hold on here. Am I trying to win or am I trying to draw here? Rook takes f5 must be a draw here. This was another game that, I mean, if I was trying to win, maybe I'd go g4, but I don't think so. I don't think I have any right to try to win this game. So a draw seems pretty normal. Okay, I'll take that. And I'm very happy with a draw here. This was another messy game. Those counterland positions are really tough to deal with. Okay, check from Indiana Fats. And I guess I'll go, I don't know, I guess I'll go king up and see. Maybe we'll just repeat. Okay, king c5 from Lieben's pawn. Okay, now I'm looking at rook to maybe rook to b3 and then come back. Okay, so rook to b3, threaten that knight. Bishop to b2 from Indiana Fats. I'll offer him a trade of rooks on d5. Knight f4 from Lieben's pawn, and hold on here. Okay, give me that d7 pawn before something bad happens. Okay, and now what's the deal here? I'm going to go rook check and rook c1. Is that it? Sorry, Indiana Fats. I mean, sometimes when I want to take the draw, the board flips so fast. You know, so I'm not trying to, you know, pull anything here or be obnoxious. It's just that it's all of the okay, draw. Good game. Tough game. You had good pressure there. Let's see. Any more games here? Jesus loves you, be blessed. Bishop Mate said that after he hung the piece. Indiana Fats was a game that was just drawn. Lieben's pawn, white resigned but, you know, Lieben's pawn defended very well there. I rook check and rook c1. Let's see, Eternal Warrior resigned. I had a queening trick. Not the best technique, if I say so myself. T-Knight played very well and should have beaten me. I defended okay and had one trick. Let's see, Rocky Top had a good game. I played b6 myself, and I know Rocky Top from some camps I've done, and I think I probably taught Rocky Top the b6 pawn sacrifice. If you want to see how I learned that, you can look up my game with Shabalov where he murdered me. Trivial Pursuit, draw, we played till nothing. That game, he felt like some pressure too. Duke Bishop played very well, built up pressure on the c-file. Shamanax, let's see, Nezhmadinov, opening was too crazy. His king got into trouble early and often, as they say. Raster, I don't know what happened with Raster. It said he resigned. I don't understand. It's just a draw. I think it's just a draw. He, of course, is up a pawn and he's better. But I figure with the double pawns, I should be able to draw. And Misha Bobby, I think I should have been winning, but not easy at all, and was happy to take a draw. And Kronos was another very unclear game. Let's see, Mr. Neal got forked, fell into a fork. I think he was gotten very passive in that position. Moving Dutchman played very well. And I mean, I'll take black and simals. It's interesting to mix it up. Hayen had a solid position, but as you could tell by the final position, something went wrong. I think I won a piece with A4. What happened here? GM. I'm not sure what happened. He went rook C3 and probably saw knight D5 and resigned. Certainly, if he doesn't do that, his position is okay. Shamanak's, I had a lot of pawns going in that game. Dodgy's king got aired out also. And Richard Parker resigned early because when Bishop A6 winning the exchange, and that was it. So it was a fun simul, everybody. 3 losses. I don't know. It felt like more. It really felt like more. So thanks everybody for a fun simul. And thanks to Sandro for taking good care of us, and for all the people that are watching. This is John Fedorowicz for the April 2017 SimulMaster Simul for ICC, and maybe check out 10 Years of Joel Benjamin. It looks like 10 Years of Joel Benjamin, probably pretty good. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see you next month, and have good chess. Enjoy these strong tournaments that are going on. Take care, everybody, and have a good day, and happy chess or something like that. All right, take care. Bye bye.